Greetings, this is GGN3. In this episode, I'm going to be reviewing Serial Experiments Lain, a cyberpunk title that explores the blurring line between reality and the wired world, which is considered by many to be the most baffling anime that there is, alongside Neon Genesis Evangelion. I first saw Lain back in 2003 via a DVD rip of the series that was uploaded online. I bought the series from FYE back in 2005 through Geneon's signature series line, buying it at its full retail price at that time of $60. The series was one of the earliest titles distributed on DVD by Geneon back when they were pioneer, the series also being distributed on VHS in both dub and sub formats. The series has been out of print since Geneon closed up their American company back in December 2007. The series can be bought as a box set or in individual volumes on online and retail stores. However, retail stores like Best Buy may only have a limited supply of the signature series volumes. In most instances, the individual volumes are easy to afford, the signature series volumes being the cheaper of the cheap sets to buy for, and usually costing less than $10 depending on their condition in the cellar. Box sets of the series can also be affordable depending on the seller and the condition of the set, though they aren't as common to find. Some sellers of the box sets will only charge $30 to $50, while others will charge more than the original price of the sets. Feature-wise, both versions are no different from one another, as the signature series retains the menu formats and extra features found from the original DVD release. In a parallel future, the network infrastructure of the worldwide web has become more powerful, becoming known as the Wired, and computers called Nabis are the resource of choice to access this new network. Lain Irkar is an introverted middle school student with few interests and friends. When she gets word of classmate Chisa Yamada sending out an email to classmates despite her committing suicide weeks earlier, Lain becomes curious of the email's contents and uses her Navi to look into the matter. In Chisa's email, she states that she had abandoned her body in reality, and her soul is transferred into the wired ward. This starts up a journey for Lain as she looks into matters concerning the borders between reality and the wired being broken apart, as well as realizing she might not be an ordinary girl. Serial Experiments Lain is considered by many anime fans to be the most baffling and heavily debatable anime title that there is, and for good reason. The show serves as both a mystery focused around what exactly is behind the blurring of reality and the wired, as well as offering a modern look into the internet becoming integrated into everyday living for human society. Visions thought up during a time where the technology was still in its infancy when many started dial-up connections. Throughout the series, hints have dropped concerning the nature of the parties responsible for causing problems in the wired and reality, as well as the true nature of Lain. Different character and plot elements are introduced throughout the series, which hint at other aspects of the show's mysteries that make the basic sense of events in the series more clear. The series goes at a slow pace, taking its time to flesh out and reveal more aspects to the lore of the series and the mysteries surrounding the wired ward. Some mysteries in the series, though, all intentionally left vague, and it's this aspect of Lain's storyline, in part, that earns the series' reputation as one of the top anime mind screws. Details on a number of the plot and character elements within the series, including how the technology for the Wired came to be and the purposes of some key characters, all left mostly undefined, will allow viewers to come to their own conclusions in how events play out in the series and what roles characters have. Even the slightest of brief scenes in the series have a connection to Lain's story and themes. Because of this, Serial Experiments Lain isn't the best series to show off to new or casual anime viewers, and it will require multiple watches to interpret much of what took place in the series for those willing to commit to it. The only blemish in Lain's storyline was a music video style half-episode recap in one of the show's later episodes. Outside of the show's mysteries, Lain also paints a picture of how the coming of the internet during the time would affect human society at large, exploring different aspects of this new convenience for living. Outside being an extension for human communication, Wired provides other purposes for those making use of it, such as online gaming, portability, and hacking. The psychological developments of those making regular use of the Wired are also explored, with those taking advantage of the anonymity the network provides for personal gain of thrills, the younger generation being accepting of the technology, and anyone becoming increasingly detached to the real world as they become more engaged in online activities. Unlike cyberpunk titles like Akira and Ghost in the Shell, where technology advanced radically or took place in a post-apocalyptic future, Lain is a modern telling of how the internet would affect people years from now. While this focus is rather dated, as this exploration has become the norm from technological advances and expansion over the past decade, the fact Lain presented the same image nearly 12 years earlier is quite eerie, considering this is what people have become with greater access to the internet. On the visual side, Lain puts enough effort on offering a surreal experience and exploring the Wired in real worlds. Clever use of transitions and cinematic scenes mess with the viewer's perceptions at some points to show whether characters on screen are either seeing things in reality or within the Wired. Abstract colors are shown in the shading of shadows on telephone poles and Lain, which indicate their connections to the Wired world. Even character designs are well done, as facial features looked realistic and had a good amount of detail. Seeing the menu interfaces and Navis as characters use them was a plus for the animation as well. On the sound end, the soundtrack and sound effects are well done, with ominous insert music played during tense scenes, and the sound of telephone wires having that show the vast presence that the Wired has. The opening and closing songs to Lain go very well with the mood of the series, with the tone of the music being subdued and the lyrics emphasizing disconnection from reality's problems. Overall, Serial Experiments Lain is a cyberpunk title that hits more close to home than most anime cyberpunk titles, delving into reality close to the present where the internet is more widely used. Offering a surreal and baffling look into the mysteries of the Wired and Lain's true nature, the series is highly recommended for those liking thought-provoking or unconventional titles. For its series review, I give Serial Experiments Lain an A.